Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hi, Ophelia. Hi, Brian. I don't see any residents yet, but we can get started in just a second here. Juan Luis, can you record or just let me know if you can't? I think. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Thank you.
I should.
Perfect. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? And as residents pop in, we'll go ahead and turn on the interpretation. And then go ahead. Do I need to pop you into?
I think, yeah, because if we're going to be recording it in Spanish, we need to
So
turn it
let's
on.
go ahead and get that started. then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. Got it. Everyone, I think it is in their correct groups for interpretation. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. My name is Zong Song, and I'm with the Valley Air District. And this is the Fresno Air Monitoring Outreach Subcommittee meeting on September 6th. Thank you so much. And just wanted to see if there's any residents that pops in yet. I still don't see any residents, but just wanted to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share our tracker, our action tracker from the last meeting. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Can you guys see my screen okay? Is it big enough?
Would you zoom in a little?
Okay, sure. A little bit more. Is that big enough?
Maybe. It didn't look like it moved to me. I'm like,
Can you
wow, my
see
eyes
the-
are tired.
Can you see the tracker?
I see the sign up sheet for schools.
Oh, maybe that's what happened. It on the, because I'm like, it's at 146. So that's
You're
why
blind.
So I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so does that look bigger now?
There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
so
you.
You're welcome, Heather. And let me slide down a little bit from the last meeting, which was, our last meeting was on July 28th. And we had three quick action items. The first one was a request to add a flyer to the packets that we hand out to the schools that we are going to be doing outreach. And that was a mask flyer. That was a request. And so that is something that we have added to the packets that we are handing out. The next one was to connect with school district nurses to see what air quality protocols are in place. And we have reached out to the Health Services Executive Director at Fresno Unified. And so hopefully we hear back from her soon. As soon as we do, we will connect. And the plan is to have a meeting with her and just check in and see what they're doing. In general, Fresno Unified, they already utilize our RAN system. And it's at the school district level. So they, once they get the notifications or they keep tabs on it, they will usually send out the information out to the principals, and it'll trickle down that way. But a lot of nurses are often on, they do get the messaging from the district or from our RAN or have signed up for a RAN. So our hope is that when we connect, just to double check and, update, see, how they're doing, what services or what resources they may need from us, and see what else we can do to support them. That is the plan. And so hopefully we hear from the contacts soon. If anyone has any additional contacts at the school district level or nurses at individual principals or individual schools, let us know. We'd be happy to reach out that way as well. And then the last one is a postcard that we are in the process of finalizing to share the information about our green projects funding to the different schools in the AB 617 boundary, to let them know about our urban greening measure, as well as the commercial clean green yard machine projects, as well as funding opportunities, as well as the vegetative barrier. And so that's in the process. Did anyone have any questions? If not, I don't see any raised hands. So If not, then we are going to go ahead and go on to what we've been working on, and that is our fall outreach effort at AB61 schools. This is, our first time really. What the plan is to be on site and share information about the district and encourage parents not to idle. And so this is our first time really being on campus or being right outside, the campus doors to share information directly to parents while they're either dropping off, their kiddos in the morning or waiting to, take their turn to drop off or pick up their kids. So we've already launched it. We started it. Our first school was at Malaga on August 30th. Oh, I see Lilia. And I wonder if Tanya can come back just so that, is Lilia already in the Spanish channel by any chance? Or do I?
Juan Luis, did you check for us?
Sí, ya estoy. Buenas tardes a todos. Sí, ya estoy en la línea de español.
She's on the Spanish line already.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Juan Luis. So just wanted to share that we did start our fall outreach effort. And so let me share with you my screen about what our schedule is and what it kind of looks like. Okay. So this is the screen. Hopefully you guys can see the schedule. And I can make
Could
it
you zoom that one in?
bigger.
That is the one I did want you to zoom in a smidge earlier. Thank you.
Oops, maybe that's too big. Let me do one.
That works.
Okay, so let me open my window just a little bit so that you guys can see a little bit more. So the first school is, while it's crossed out, we did go to it. It's Malaga Elementary, and that was on August 30th. And that was exciting. It was myself as well as another OC member, Danny, and we went out there. We were out, handing out packets right in front of the cafeteria. So that was exciting. We handed out about 75 packets to parents. Some were walking, some were just dropping off, and that was kind of nice to just be able to talk with some of the parents as they stopped by. Hi, Isabel. Did you have a question?
I'll go ahead and mute her for now.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see me okay? My window kind of jumped over around the page. Okay, perfect. So then the next school we went to was West Fresno Elementary and the middle school. They are right next to each other. So we went out there. It was both Heather and myself, and it was pretty exciting. There was lots of traffic, lots of engagement. We were able to hand out almost 100, actually 100. We did hand out 100 packets to parents and shared information about no idling, as well as the AB617 community. In the packets besides our AB617 flyer, we also have the calendar, leftover calendars from this year, as well as applications to submit any additional artwork, as well as the mask that I mentioned earlier, as well as a health school, so a healthy air living schools brochure that we included. And not only that, we also had some information on how parents can sign up for our RAN on their mobile apps or their cell phones. So there are lots of goodies, as well as I don't know if Heather, you have one of the fans handy, but we also had some fans that we handed out to everyone. And so these are little fans that you can connect to your cell phones, just as a little kind of a swag, and it has our logo on it. But a lot of parents were excited to get packets from us, as well as the little fans.
It's really kind of cool. This Heather, obviously it'll definitely use charge on your phone, but if you were desperate and needing to find yourself some cool air in the moment of being hot, which would be maybe shutting off your vehicle while waiting for your child, you could use this fun little fan. If you could see it, it's got our logo on it. And it's got two connectors, one for an Android phone or one for an iPhone. You can use either one and you plug it into the bottom of your cell phone. Oops, use the correct plug. That's an Android when I have an iPhone. And I don't know if you can see it, but it works. It's moving so fast you can't see it now, but it's a very cool fan. And it really does work and produce some air. And it's just a testament, like, you talk to parents and we've discovered that having a conversation about what not to do is far more received when we give them something to help them do it.
So just wanted, so it was really, this, like I said, this was our first time really being out there on the campus grounds in this capacity. So this was kind of just to see the flow of traffic as well as how the school managed the flow of traffic, and just to engage with the parents. That was a lot of some of the parents didn't know about our agency. They were interested in learning more some of our programs, but again, we didn't have a ton of time, so it was depending if they were at a standstill, then we were able to engage with them a little bit more. If not, then they still got lots of good information. And that's one of our pictures that Heather is sharing right now of Danny at Malaga. And so that was right there on campus, and the young man there, the student there, was walking towards the cafeteria to get his breakfast. So, and then this week, the schedule is yesterday, or actually today. We had Kepler this morning, and that went out, worked really well. Danny and another of our OC teammates, Madi, was out there this morning, and they also shared that there was lots of good foot traffic as well as vehicle traffic, and they were able to hand out a lot of packets. There, I believe for them, they had 75 packets, so they got through it like within 30 minutes. So a lot of times for this last 3 schools that we were at, and we were in and out like no more than an hour. In terms of getting there at around 7:15. Most of the time the parents started showing up around 7:30 if school started 8 o'clock, and then we were pretty much done about 8:15, right around there. So on the schedule, let me go back to the schedule, and the rest of the schedule for this week is for tomorrow we'll be at Hidalgo Elementary, and then Burroughs on Thursday, and then next week. This plan is still tentative in terms of Heaton, Hawa, and Lowell. We are still in communications. We've emailed, and the principal as well as the school district, we're hoping to hear back from them. We did hear back from Vang Pao. We are going to be at their school, and with Vang Pao we decided to do it afternoon. The principal invited and encouraged us to come in the afternoon, and so that is the plan for Vang Pao Elementary on September 15th. So we'll be there in the afternoon. As you can see on the schedule in the yellow, the highlight, we have some space for CSC members who would like to volunteer if they would like to be out at these events with us. If you would like to, we definitely encourage you to join us, and just let us know so that we can also let the school know how many people to expect. Again, these are tentative dates, and so they may change, but you're welcome to sign up, and we can keep you posted as dates and times become available.
When is Heaton?
Heaton right now, it's to be determined, and so we're still waiting to hear back from the school whether what day would work best for them. We do have in our books our schedule to meet up with a Fresno Unified School District representative tomorrow, and so hopefully that will get things moving along. But Lisa, is Heaton a school that you'd like to?
It's 2 blocks from me.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can definitely include
it's
you.
in my hood.
Okay, would you? I just want to make sure though. Are you? It's going to be at 8, around 8 o'clock. Sounds good.
At what time? In the morning or night?
In the morning.
Oh.
In the morning.
I would be interested in finding out some more information.
Okay, I will jot your name down right here.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. If anyone else, any other CSC members would like to volunteer, please just let us know, raise your hand or drop your name in the chat, and we will connect and let you know as the dates get confirmed, and we'll be out there with you. Anyone have any questions?
I
Go
have
ahead.
a comment. This
Go ahead.
Heather. Something very interesting sort of organically developing out of this outreach that I just want to pass along. Really getting a good sense of how the schools approach the information and ingress and egress. And our goal, of course, the reason we haven't locked in Heaton in those schools for next week is that we absolutely want the principal to, or the office person, someone at the school level to endorse and or know that we're coming. Last thing we want is to be on their curbs and have them frustrated with us handing out information without having told them. So our goal is to lock it in with the principal and or office manager, and that's why we don't have a date. However, we did have 2 schools that we reached out to, and ended up, we've decided to just share information with them and not use our time at the beginning of school day, because they actually told us that most of the kids either bus in or walk in, or we're just learning sort of how individual and unique all these school sites are. And so it's kind of been fun and fascinating and really rewarding. We really, I could speak for myself and the team, I'm sure, but it's really, really awesome to do that in-person communication and have those conversations. Obviously it's not at length, but we're delivering really important information, and can't tell you how many parents I talk to about changing out some kind of equipment or where they can get air quality information, or just the fact that 8617 exists and they should scan our QR code on our flyer and get tuned for more information. So it's been awesome.
And to Heather's point, the 2 other schools that we connected with that would like us to just give them the information. One is Orange Center, and the other one is Madison Elementary. So both of the schools, we have connected with them. So just wanted to share that, while they may not be on the schedule, we did connect with them. And so our outreach there will be a little bit different. And then we did actually do one back to school night at Malaga. Yes, at Malaga. So so hopefully, well, we probably did miss the window in terms of back to school nights for this school year. Maybe next year we will definitely get more schools, especially I think with this kind of outreach that gets us more involved and get the principals more familiar with our programs. And so the back to school nights as well as the open houses will become a more common outreach for us, for our team as well. So
we really like the partnership at West Fresno Middle and Elementary School. That principal was out there. I mean, she's a part of ingress and egress anyway, but she was out there right alongside Zong, sort of, in full support of the messaging and communication with parents. So that was cool too.
You guys also need to think about, you may have missed back to school night, but a lot of these schools also have opportunities with Halloween coming up. So you might want to think of, what sort of swag can you provide them to send home with the kids, because, kids love getting things at Halloween, no matter what it is. So that may be another inroad to let people know you're out there.
Yes, and that's a very good point, Lisa. Something that when we do outreach, we do, try to connect with them and let them know that, we are willing and, to, be out there for like tabling events, like for the open houses, or like you said, the Halloween.
I think you guys should, what I think you guys should also think about is, if there is something that they're doing at the school, like, they'll maybe do costume stuff, sponsor some costume stuff at a school, just say, for information, this brought to you by the Air District. What's the $20 gift certificate to, In-N-Out Burger or Target or something? Think about that.
Incentives. It's all about the incentives. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's so true, Lisa. I mean, back to the point that I really don't know how receptive our ask about idling would be in this weather if we weren't also going, hey, we have this really cool free cell phone fan, and sort of talking about solutions. And yeah, understood.
But we're coming up on the cold weather though too, which is just as bad. So, you guys need to think about pivoting your marketing plan.
I see Lilia has her hand raised.
Sí, buenas tardes nuevamente. Estoy escuchando la reunión. Es muy importante que se hayan acercado muy de cerca a la escuela Calaguaya, que están más cerca a las compañías industriales. Me escuché que están diciendo que se conectaron directamente con la directora. Hay casi 800 estudiantes en esa escuela. Para haber repartido 75 paquetes se me hizo muy bajo, la verdad. Ojalá y en un futuro haya un poquito más de conexión con la dirección y no solamente con ella, sino con los padres para poder llegarles más de cerca y motivarlos y mirar que lo que hacen sus hijos en PE, en ejercicio de educación física, como nosotros le llamamos, están en riesgo porque tienen ellos bien cerca de la compañía. Si nosotros estamos trabajando con Amazon aquí cerca, las fábricas industriales cerquitas ahí también. Entonces yo pienso que sería tratar de hablar directamente con la directora, que no nos diga que no tenemos espacio, porque la escuela es muy grande, siempre hay una oportunidad donde nos puedan dar ese espacio para pasar esa información tan importante como es la contaminación que nos está matando. Yo pienso que la directora debe ser considerada primero que nada. Alcancé que la traducción dijo que no alcanzó a interpretar qué escuelas. Puso el mapa, pero yo estaba distraído un poquito para mirar el mapa. Estoy escuchando solamente porque estoy en mi trabajo, pero sí me interesaría, si está aquí en Ben Pound, ser voluntaria para ser parte de esto y pasarme la información antes, si es posible, para poder pasarlo por las redes sociales, para informar a los padres de esta comunidad lo importante que es participar y que tengan esos paquetes para que se den cuenta la calidad del aire, cómo nos está matando aquí en nuestra comunidad. Es todo, gracias.
Fantastic suggestion, Lilia. Wonderful suggestion. And to confirm, we definitely still shared information with the school. And this is really only our first blush. We're hoping that these meetings are just the beginning of multiple visits to these school sites throughout the year. Agree with that as well. I don't think we're going to get far unless we continue being at the table for the conversation. So I anticipate we'll go back, but those two schools in particular that Zong was talking about was just that we wouldn't catch them at ingress, right? Driving into the schools in the morning, but she very much took 500 flyers, Zong, to distribute, or did she take enough for the whole school?
The request was to give enough for the whole school, and so we're still
to send
printing
one
them.
home with
Yeah.
every student. So actually,
That's the
I
plan.
think we might have gotten further reach at that school than we have at the packets in person. But all of those things, great point, Lilia. Just the beginning, yes. And our goal is to not only connect with the principal to get their blessing to be out there for the school outreach, but to also one-on-one sit down with the principals, our staff, teach them, ask for action, and identify teachers or an after-school program. What are ways we can be involved? Exactly.
And this is also our first time trying this, so we weren't quite sure how many cars to
How we
expect
would
or
be
how many
received.
people, right? So now that we know that, at Kepler, we could probably bring, much more than 75 packets. We'll probably maybe bring 100 or 150 next time, or even at, West Fresno, we could probably, bring another person as well as,
Yeah.
Maybe 150 packets or more than that as needed. And again, the schools that we have listed here, we were trying to look at schools that were kind of, diverse in the sense of location. So there's really not a specific, in terms of why we're going to one school or the another, but we wanted to try to find schools that were a little bit more, make sure that we were on the east side as well as the west side, as well as, looking at different school districts, not all Fresno unified. And so just a quick reminder that, hey, the next time we do this, we will definitely look at other schools. So so if there are any particular schools that that wasn't included this time that you want us to include the next time, let us know, and we will definitely put them on our list of schools to connect with for the next round.
I mean, all things considered, we could probably, formulate in our minds an opportunity for the mini grant program, right? Maybe there's one of these agencies wants to take on and do a couple school sites and do the mini grant program and help distribute, their application is to go to like 4 school sites. So, I mean, it's wide open as to the opportunity. I think we have to connect. And I think, Lilia, your hand's still up from before. I'm going to lower it now, unless if you put it up again, then I'll know you have another question.
Did anyone have any other questions or suggestions in terms of our fall outreach that we're trying out?
The other thing this is mostly for the residents, like for Lilia and Isabel, it much like, and we were thinking about this as a team, much like you see things and report maybe to our enforcement side or to CARB about trucks idling and weird stuff. If there's an opportunity to call someone that, maybe we haven't already connected with, or you head by a school anywhere in town, but you're seeing that kind of activity and it's just not good, let us know. We very much would like the chance to connect with those places and to educate, very much like we do with all the rest of the enforcement. While it's not a hard and fast rule, it's still education that we would prefer to deliver. Just keep that in mind. Where are we at on the agenda?
I think that was it for outreach. If there's no other questions, then we can go on to the monitoring update, and Chai is here.
All right, looks like no more questions. So yeah, just a very quick brief update. We are working on getting VOC speciation nearby the Kinder Morgan site that the CSC had requested for us to do. It's been taking a while for us to get some modifications to our VOC canisters to modify them so that we can have more shorter sampling periods and get more samples there. But so what we've been working on also in addition to that is we've talked to there's like a nearby RV location there that we're trying to see if we can get the permission to place our canisters there. That way we can just leave a bunch of canisters and have them continually taking the air samples in. But we haven't received a response yet, and I think hopefully we get it. If we don't, worst case is we're just gonna have to take the vans over there, park it there during the daytime and get a few samples and just keep on doing that to see what type of readings we get. So that's where we're at so far. If you have any other questions related to air monitoring, I'd be happy to answer those questions as well.
I don't see any questions. If you do, go ahead and raise your hands or unmute.
While we're giving folks a chance to raise hands or unmute, anybody do that? Oh, I see Jessica did. Maybe. No. I just wanted to point out, kind of give you the lay of the land where we stand. We sent out, you probably got the email, we sent out a press release on Friday. Was that Friday? Yeah, ahead of the holiday weekend, sort of talking about what we're experiencing, which is incredible heat, as we know, but that heat is accompanied by this high pressure system that's pretty indicative of our region. And so that means that the lid is holding in all of the emissions that we've created in the last week, 10 days, 2 weeks, including the smoke emissions that have found their way into our atmosphere. So that and any sort of activity on the ground, from maybe harvest of something to just general vehicle traffic, all of that is baking in the hot summer sun. So we're seeing elevated ozone in parts. We're seeing a little bit of elevated PM10, the bigger dust particles. We're seeing some influence of PM2.5, the smaller scary particles that are in smoke. And so we've been cautioning the public to find their, indoor room filters, be smoke ready, avoid the heat, stay hydrated, conserve energy, sort of all of that messaging, but along with it, pointing out that you should keep an eye on air quality because the formula for air pollution is ripe at the moment. That's kind of where we stand. We're kind of in an advisory alert at our office, our agency, where this afternoon we initiate a banner on our website that just kind of talks about that and points people where to go when they come looking. That's where we stand right now.
Is there any, excuse me, is there any way you can work directly with the mayor's office to possibly do some public service announcements? Because I think, you know, what happened at the last city council meeting was just an abomination, because they literally put off talking about keeping the cooling centers open for a meeting this week after the fact. Yeah. And I was thinking, yeah, where's their sense of emergency, of excessive heat, you know, the grid going down, and what happens if the grid actually went down like Texas is always in the back of my mind. I know we won't get there because we're California, we're better prepared. But, you know, I'm looking at, you know, a mayor who's more interested in going to Vienna to look at housing than he is to talk about this energy crisis, as well as, like you said, the high pressure. I felt it every single day. And just, you know, the only time I go out is to dump out the trash, 10 steps in, 10 steps out. And I have to use an inhaler.
We don't look to be out of it, Lisa, till at least like Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, you know, for future, so they can actually have a game plan, because I don't know if they know you guys even exist or even want to talk to you, because they're so very
I'll put a call in.
myopic.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have conversations and have met with them. The mayor's, I can't remember her name, the, you know, communications, you know, our counterpart. Yeah, definitely. At minimum, I want them to know that we have a grant, which we've sent it to them, but a reminder conversation about the indoor air filter grant we have for clean air centers.
And the other thing also too, you might also want to CC that sort of information as well to the city council, because they're very proactive about, you know, asking for money and getting money. I mean, they don't want any money left on the table that they can access.
When's that special meeting?
I don't know when it was. It's supposed to be sometime this week, like after the fact.
After it's done being hot.
Yeah, they're supposed to close the cooling centers at 5, or no, at 7. And the heat's going to be 105, and they really should keep the cooling centers open till 10.
Yeah.
And they do things like not provide bottled water. The chairs are uncomfortable. Everybody gets to drink out of the same water fountain kind of thing. And yeah, they really need some help doing their emergency setup. And the winter is just going to be just as worse, especially with the air quality and the cold. So
okay, warming.
I would appreciate that.
Thanks for the feedback, Lisa. I see Lilia asking for the schedule. Juan Luis, thank you. I see Juan Luis telling Lilia he will send it to her. Thank you, Juan Luis. And we will call you, Lisa, when we get heat and lockdown, just so you know when it's happening.
And Lilia, if you sign up for any or other schools, will also connect with you to see, you know, which school works best for you. That was pretty much all that was on our agenda today. Was there any additional information or any other questions that you may have, since we have some time, about our fall outreach?
All I know is I got a call from PG&E telling me to expect to be out of electricity for an hour to 2 hours today. So
I saw that they notified about 500,000 people.
they notified basically, I think, half of Fresno, and then you get a phone call, and then you just wait.
And of course, it'll be at the hot time of the day.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it.
You've got your house cooled down?
I got my house cooled down. I got water in the freezer. I have leftovers already ready to eat, so I don't have to cook. I have a towel in the freezer in a Ziploc bag for the dog. I have a rechargeable fan. So I
Hey, smart lady. That's a great
right?
idea. Rechargeable fan.
$40, Lowe's.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
good for 2 hours to 10 hours, depending.
Oh, then
upon
you'll be
what-
good then for your 1 hour outage.
I'll be so good.
We'll be coming to your house. Oh, but you won't open the door.
You won't open the door.
All
And I
right.
think
Oh,
I already downloaded a very bad movie on my iPad, so I don't have to worry about watching anything.
well, you have all the boxes checked, Lisa. I'm really impressed.
I am like the Girl Scout on steroids.
Yeah. Now, if you had Girl Scout cookies too, I'd be laughing right now. I'd be in stitches for dessert.
No, but I do have a hookup for February already.
Oh, nice. Very good. Okay, I don't see any more hands or anything in chat. Team, do you? Do we have anything else we need to touch on?
I think that was it.
Otherwise, we'll be seeing everybody in what, a week? About 2 weeks, actually. No, 3 weeks. That's right. It's late this month, right? We're on the 21st.
I thought it was, yeah.
It would have been the 14th, but that conflicted with TCC. So our next meeting is Wednesday, the 21st. Right, Zong?
Alrighty.
Mhm, I believe so.
I gotta go play with my dog.
Okay, you want to do what to your dog?
I gotta go play with my dog. She's getting a little stir crazy.
Before you can't really do much. Yeah. Bye, Lisa.
right.
Thank you
I'll
for
see you
joining.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon.
Gracias. Hasta luego.
Hello.